Welcome to Scream House, where every whisper hides a warning and every story cuts deeper than the last. Tonight's tale continues the nightmare we began before. This is part 2. What comes next was never meant to be heard. Turn down the lights, steady your breath, and if you dare to return, like and subscribe for more. The next day had come and gone, and I hadn't bothered to put away any boxes yet, nor did my mother and father. To be perfectly honest, we slept Sunday morning away as bears do weeks and months in hibernation. Maybe it was the excitement of the previous day that wore us out. Maybe it was the move itself. It could have even been just the pure coziness of sleeping in our new house, in our new neighborhood, and in our new city. Later that night, my mom, dad, and I sat at our dinner table eating. There were still plenty of unpacked boxes all over, seemingly decorating our hallways and living area. I didn't know about my parents, but I knew for sure that I was headed straight to bed as soon as I finished eating. My dad found a hot link and hot dog shack with pretty decent food, but Lord only knows my dad's true motive had nothing to do with food at all. You see, my father, though I love him to death, was a bit of a cheapskate. Once on a family trip to Disneyland a few summers back, the man actually packed sandwiches and soft drinks into my mom's purse. "I refuse to be made a fool by these outlandish prices," he mumbled as we walked into the entrance. Once, I even asked him. His mom called him cheap. He playfully but very seriously responded, "My mother wasn't a fool, and neither was my father, so why should I be?" To be honest, I tended to agree with my mom on the matter, but the old man did make a valid point. So, as I ate my share of the hot links brought home by my loving, yet cheapskate father, I rose from the dining table and headed for the restroom. As I walked towards our first restroom, there were 3 in all. I looked over at the boxes and all the things that had to be shelved, folded, stored, and placed here and there. I thought to myself, I sure hope we can at least get the pots and pans all put away, because I don't know how many nights of fast food I could handle. I was a kid who loved my mom's home cooking, and the hot link shack just wasn't hitting the spot. After getting washed up, I kissed my parents goodnight and jumped right into my covers. While I lay in my baseball-themed bed, a lot of things ran through my mind. Some made no sense at all, like, where did I put my action figures and lame-o drawings, according to Big Ben? How long would it take for my room to look just how I wanted it? Things like that. But other things I thought of made all the sense in the world to me, like Temecula and the friends I left behind, Left Arm, Billy Newberry, Just, Pink Team Melvin, and Tomboy Sandy. I thought about what they were doing and got a terrible sinking feeling down in my gut when I thought that maybe, just maybe, they might forget all about me. I thought and thought all night. Thoughts about how I hoped this move was right for my dad's career also troubled me temporarily, but that thought was replaced by Melissa. It's funny. I just met the girl, haven't even known her for a good half a day, and here I am, can't sleep without thinking of her sweet face. As a matter of fact, I thought about her till I fell into a deep slumber. A few hours into the night, I was fast asleep, as were my parents and most of our community. All of a sudden, my deep, comfortable snooze was interrupted by a horrible, unexplainable nightmare. It was dark and gory. I was standing in the middle of a damp, dingy, tenebrous log cabin straight out of the turn of the century. It was void of any sort of material possessions. No television, no appliances, no cozy love seat for 2, no nothing. It was void of anything but a dirt-covered open space, and the walls were old and cracked from floor to ceiling. It was as if the place was decaying before my eyes. The ugliness of it made my spine tingle awfully. I stared at the decomposing boards on the walls. They seemed to be bleeding, literally bleeding. I tried with all I could muster of my being not to pass out on the dirt floor, my heart whacking away inside my chest at a rate of 1 billion beats per second. My arms and legs were challenging one another to a trembling contest while my eyes bulged out of my sockets, soaking in all the terrible horror of the decaying cabin. I had never seen anything like this before, a nightmare or real life. Not even in the worst horror film had I felt such terror. The smell of the horror cabin could be closely compared to smelling the inside of a toilet that contained 3-day-old vomit in an abandoned house. I remember a story that Left Arm Bobby once told me about his grandfather serving in Nam. He said that his grandfather was a frontline soldier and had become accustomed to seeing dead bodies and other soldiers losing their arms, legs, and other body parts I'd rather not mention. Left Arm said that his grandfather was once caught in the middle of some pretty serious and deadly crossfire, and that he had to take cover in some trenches smothered by blood, dirt, and sand. While in the trenches, he was forced to lie next to his best friend, who had just had both his legs blown completely off by a grenade thrown by the Vietnamese opposition. Left Arm said that, after a while, his grandfather's friend finally gave up the fight against the inevitable and closed his eyes for the last time. Left Arm's grandfather told him that the smell and the abundant amount of blood splatter were too much to bear, and he thought he would lose his mind if he had to endure that tribulation any longer. Now, whether or not Left Arm's grandfather should have told such a horrifically detailed tale to a 13-year-old was up for debate. But one thing I knew to be true was that I, too, thought I would lose my mind if I had to take the terrible, unbearable smell of this blood-covered, demented, condemned cabin of doom any longer. As I stood there in total fear and awe, a shadow fell from the long, dark, narrow corridor, and as the figure grew closer, it seemed to be that of a young boy. Yet as he drew nearer, I could tell that the thing, the monstrous thing, that was in the flesh likeness of a boy, it was far from it. His eyes were of the blackest, deepest dark, abyss-like, black hole-like, devil-like. His teeth were sharp and rusty, like old shed-house razors. Lord, and his hands, dear God in heaven, his hands. They were riddled with blood and wrinkles, wrinkled as if he was 450 years old, and the skin from his exposed knuckles was halfway missing, so bad that you could see part of the inner meat which covered his bones. There appeared to be something written upon his age-stricken hands, scribbled names almost from what I could make out. I was far too afraid to gaze for much longer. He wore an all-black preacher's Sunday morning suit, the suit old Mississippi Baptist preachers wore while they stood in pulpits and preached holiness or hell sermons in the 1950s, and even though it appeared to be clean, the stench from it was the worst I'd ever smelled in my life. You can imagine anyone in their right mind would have run for dear life. But I couldn't move. I was stuck, like my shoes had been cemented in place. It was just a nightmare, but it felt so real. Then it seemed as if time stood still as he began to open his mouth. He started to read off all the chicken-scratched names that were written on his sore, aged, stained hands. Then he looked me in my face with those demented dark eyes and spoke unforgettable words that sent chills up my spine. Abraham, soon your name, too, will be written upon my flesh. I awoke immediately, screaming with my body soaked in sweat. No, no, I screamed and screamed. Abe, Abe, it was just a bad dream, it's all right, my mother said as she dashed to my bedside. It was just a dream, Abe, she reiterated. I knew it was a dream. The only problem was that it felt so real, and no matter how hard I tried to stop shaking, I just couldn't. My mother stayed in my room for a while, trying her best to soothe me. I didn't want to keep her up, so I pretended to fall asleep. Once she left, I curled into a ball and shook like a tree leaf on a windy day. I tried to get the images out of my head, but to no avail. Besides, how do you shake something that felt so real? It was so disgustingly real. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that monster boy and the names he had burned into his skin, and the words, "You too will be added to my flesh," kept playing back in my head. After a while, I finally fell asleep, but before you knew it, it was already morning. "Come on, son, get up and at 'em, Abe," my father said, opening my door while straightening his tie. I could tell he must either be nervous or in a rush, maybe even both by how fast he was moving. I squinted my eyes, trying to block out the bright sun. "We both have a busy day ahead of us. It's my first day on the job and your first day at school, and neither of us can afford to be late. Come on, I'll give you a lift." After last night, I wasn't looking forward to going anywhere, let alone school. Yet I had no choice. I got up, showered, ate my mom's eggs and waffles, and headed out. On the way to school, Dad was chattering on and on about his new job, yet every word he said slipped into the background of my attention. I believe he was saying something about not fearing new challenges, either that or something about sandwiches. Honestly, I wasn't sure. I wasn't trying to purposely ignore him, but the nightmare of the Beast Boy held my focus tight. As we passed house after house, drawing closer to my new challenge, as my father put it, or at least that's how I believe he put it. All my mind kept coming back to was those hands. I could just puke all over my father's front seat thinking about those god-awful hands. Abraham, soon your name too will be written upon my flesh. It was almost like I blanked out, and those horrible words invaded my mind. I could feel my hair beginning to rise from the flesh on my arms, and my ears burned from within. Just the thought alone of those terrible, terrible words did this to me, and when I thought I was going to burst from anxiety, my father's voice resurrected into play and broke the devilish trance I was caught in. "Here we are, Abe, your new school," he said. "Remember, wise people, make wise decisions, okay?" "Yes, sir. Pick me after school, huh?" I asked as I made my way from my dad's vehicle, slowly shutting the door behind me. I guess in a way, I didn't want to get out. It was a security thing. My parents always made me feel so secure. "I don't know, champ. Today might be kind of hectic," he said. Yet once he saw the expression on my face, he changed his answer. "Tell you what, I'll be here no problem." Once I walked into my new junior high school, I noticed how huge it really was. Temecula's school wasn't anything like this. There were kids everywhere. The hallways were long and wide open, mostly filled with huge lockers that trailed along the walls as far as the eye could see, and in between each set of lockers, maybe 15 to 20 deep, were the teachers' classrooms. As I continued to try to find my way around this crowded maze-like school, posters about personal hygiene, such as, "A clean kid is a responsible kid, so be responsible and just say no," filled the bare spaces along the walls. And when there wasn't a positive poster, you could be sure there were painted pictures of the Henderson Middle School HMS mascot, a navy blue lion with light green eyes. He kind of looked friendly but ferocious at the same time, with his sharp teeth visible from within his stretched and gaping mouth. Long, pointy butcher knife-like nails coming up from his body as if he was about to pounce right on you. Lord, I would hate if that thing was real, I thought as I pressed my way between backpacks, jocks, and prissy girls, stopping in the middle of the hall, forcing me to go around them as if they were the only ones in the whole freaking school while they talked about front-page level scandal, or so they thought. And if that wasn't bad enough, there were other kids. If you could call these Andre the Giant-like boys, I honestly couldn't believe the size of some of these 13-year-old boys. Some of them were bigger and taller than my dad, some even had little mustaches, and poor little me, I didn't even have underarm hair yet. No big deal, though I just politely went around all of them, taking the slight bumps along the way while trying my best to find room number 210. Then all of a sudden, my attention was drawn back to the posters. But this one was intriguing to me for some reason. It was almost like it was reading my mind. It was pinned on a bulletin board next to the dean's office, which read, "Show me someone who stands up for justice and truth, and I'll show you the definition of a true friend." A true friend. I could really use that right about now, I thought to myself. Just then, right on cue, a voice as soft and gentle as springtime broke my attraction from the poster. "Welcome to the 8th grade, Abe." The voice softly crossed my ears from behind me. I turned, and much to my surprise, it was Melissa. This day was already looking up, I thought to myself. "So, what class do you have for homeroom?" she asked. 210, I answered. "Hey, so do I," she said. "Come with me. No sense in you getting lost on your first day, so I'll play the role of tour guide." She finished jokingly. Little did she know that's exactly what I wanted her to do. Wow, the prettiest girl in the whole school showing me around. How lucky can a guy get? I thought to myself as she led me to the homeroom. As the day went on, Melissa introduced me to all her friends. Some of them I liked, some of them I didn't. Some of her friends were pretty cool and weren't afraid to welcome me in, but others closed me out. but I didn't care much. Besides, I had Melissa, and truthfully, that's all I cared about. The ones that I thought were cool to be around were Johnny Hasbrow, Amber Little, and Susie McDaniel. Not one of them gave me the cold shoulder. In fact, once lunchtime rolled around, they saved Melissa and me a seat at their table. So I know you probably got asked this question a million times, but how do you like Henderson so far, Abraham? Asked Amber. Oh, he goes by Abe. Just call him Abe. Cool, everyone? Melissa said before I could answer. Cool, Johnny, Susie, and Amber replied. Well, to be honest, I didn't know what to expect at first, but now that Melissa and you guys have helped me to break the ice, I feel super comfortable, and I think I'm going to like it a lot here, I said. That's good, and it's nice to meet new people, especially from different states. Feel free to eat with us, Coo, Johnny added. Coo, I replied. I had never heard so many coos in my life, but hey, when in Rome. Before we knew it, the last bell of the day had rung. Once class was over, I said goodbye to my new acquaintances and Melissa, and I started walking home. So, how do you like the school? She asked curiously. It's sweet, I like it a lot. It's just that I kind of miss Temecula though, I replied. Well, I can't blame you. That was home for you for many years, right? She asked. Yep, home sweet home. But I'll make the best of Henderson though, I said. Hey, and I'll help you, she said, smiling. I wouldn't mind that one bit either, I replied. I didn't know if she thought I had said that in a kidding manner or not, but I meant it, and I meant it with conviction. Suddenly, out of nowhere, my dad came driving up. What perfect timing. The guy has never been punctual a day in his life. Now all of a sudden he's Mr. On Time. Hey son, want to ride home? He asked. No, Dad, I think I'll walk, I said, winking my right eye. But I thought you wanted... Oh, I got you. Well, hurry home and be safe, he finished, winking his eye back at me. You and your dad are really weird, Melissa said, laughing. Yeah, I totally forgot I asked him to pick me up, I told her. When Melissa and I finally reached home, we stood on the sidewalk that led to her front yard. She didn't want to go in, and I know I sure didn't. I could tell she liked my company, and I'm pretty sure I sent enough vibes to let her know I definitely enjoyed hers. So instead of going in, we sat on the curb of the sidewalk, laughing and discussing the day. Did you like your first day at HMS? Hope we weren't too lame? She asked, giggling. Oh yeah, you guys were so lame. I don't know how I got through the day, I answered jokingly. Seriously, I want to thank you for helping me. I was really nervous at first, but you made me feel so comfortable, I said. Want to know something weird? She asked. I have never done that with anyone before. What do you mean? I asked. You know, showing you around and stuff. I can't explain it, but for some reason, I really went out of my way to make you feel not so new, you know? She finished as she took her left hand and moved a strand of hair that had fallen from her ponytail and onto her face. She had no idea what she was doing to me. I felt like a 4th of July firecracker that was just lit and ready to burst into the air and explode. We talked for so long that I forgot to go home. Then, after about 3 whole hours of non-stop conversation, we figured we'd better get in and let our parents know we were still alive. After a little hesitation, we said our goodbyes, yet deep inside, I wished we could talk forever. How was school, Abe? My mother asked. It was cool, I replied. Cool? My mother asked. Yeah, cool. It's what the other kids say at school. It just means cool, get it? I said. No, I think he means to say it was really cool because of Melissa, and just cool because of everything else, my dad said jokingly. You guys were sure talking for a long time. I thought friends were hard to make, my mother said sarcastically. Okay, you were right, Ma. Thanks for pushing me to make new friends, I said as I kissed the side of her face. Dinner was ready before long, and it was not up for negotiation. We all ate together, no matter what. My mom and dad said it would help keep us as a family close. Yet I didn't mind it much. I liked eating dinner with my parents. My father always told me that people didn't love the way they used to because they forgot the small things, like spending a little time together. And I guess when you really look at it, he has a point. So no matter how busy work was or how tired he and Mom were, there was never an exception to the rule. We had dinner as a family. Today really was a good day, I thought as I pulled out my chair to sit at the table. I had a great day. I mean, a cool day at school with Melissa and her friends, and I even got to walk her home, and was now eating my mom's famous spaghetti, and I do mean famous. The other moms back in Temecula used to beg night and day for my mother's spaghetti recipe. There was a time when my mom's ex-best friend, Laura Carmine, threw a ladies' night at her house, and just so happened all the moms and mothers-to-be brought their best pasta dishes. Well, my mom's spaghetti was the talk of the night, and I guess Mrs. Carmine didn't mind that so much, besides Mrs. Barrett, who brought her world-renowned lemon basil pasta, or so she claimed, seeing how she was an executive chef at some upscale Italian restaurant in upstate New York. But after a few bites, the other ladies realized it sounded fancier than it tasted. Then Mrs. Porter introduced the girls to her triple cheese lasagna, and though it wasn't the worst entree of the evening, most of the ladies agreed she should have called it a single cheese heart attack, the way my mother tells it. It was more grease and mozzarella than actual lasagna. Next up to boast about their self-proclaimed famous dish was Ms. Cecilia, who was actually Italian and from Sicily. Her dish was pretty awesome, according to Mom. She brought homemade ravioli stuffed with ricotta cheese and a family secret meat sauce. I even had the pleasure of tasting it before, and I must say, the stuff would make Bugs Bunny trade in his carrots permanently. After a few more try mine, my mother very humbly suggested everyone give her spaghetti a try. And since that moment on, those ladies were complete addicts, addicted to a new food drug which I called Mrs. Helen Gilmore's knock you clean out your socks spaghetti. There were compliments being thrown in the air, so you would have thought my mother had paid them to speak so highly and kindly. After the commotion had died down, the look on Mrs. Carmine's face was the same as the one Cain gave his brother Abel when God accepted his offering and rejected his. You see, Mrs. Carmine had also prepared a spaghetti dish for her pasta-loving guest. Yet no one thought it was even worthy of pretending to enjoy it. Miss Cecilia even stated that Mrs. Carmine's spaghetti lacked one thing: a trash bag to put it in. My mother said that since Miss Cecilia was an older woman, much older in fact, that it was easier to express how she felt, just like my grandma does. I guess the older you get, the less you sugarcoat. Mrs. Barrett added that it lacked presentation and flavor, as if she could talk. All this was said behind Mrs. Carmine's back, of course, while she was up getting bottled waters from the refrigerator. Yet you didn't need to be a mind reader to tell from the girls' faces that they just weren't feeling Mrs. Carmine's spaghetti, nor did you have to be a mind reader to tell that my mother's dish was the choice of the night, heck, the week, month, or year even. And to make matters worse, once all the pasta chefs took leave of their boasting and retired to their own kitchens, Mr. Carmine came home. Well, here's where the ex-best friend part comes into play. He mistakenly took my mother's spaghetti for Mrs. Carmine's, and after he finished devouring his entire plate, he went back for seconds. Mrs. Carmine saw that the pasta dish he was enjoying so much was the one my mother left for her to try. He never even ate the spaghetti his wife made for her ladies' night out. After that, I overheard my mother telling my father that Mrs. Carmine had been very short with her, stopped answering my mother's calls, and even quit going to the ladies' bowling night, which was almost a tradition for them. My dad told my mom that if Mrs. Carmine would get so jealous over something so small, then she wasn't a true friend to begin with. All I knew was that I was happy to wrap my belly around Mom's spaghetti tonight, and I wouldn't get angry or jealous no matter how many times she cooked it. I kept quiet throughout most of the dinner while they discussed their first day on their jobs. Mom told Dad that one hospital wasn't too much different from another, and once you've seen one, you've seen them all. "How was work, Dad? Was it what you thought it would be?" I asked. "Well, what I thought it would be, let's see. I didn't sign anyone up for a health policy, and my office is overly crowded with bully know-it-alls wearing light-colored dress shirts and knockoff Stacey Adams." "Yep, that's just how I pictured it would be," my dad said jokingly. "No, seriously, everything is going to be too fine. Just give it some time. The same thing applies to our new home, our new town, and your new school. Everything just needs a little time to work itself out," Dad finished. How did this turn into a lecture/life lesson? I didn't know, but if anyone could turn a regular conversation into just that, Mr. David Gilmore sure could. Okay, Dad, I get you, and you're right. I'm going to give this place a chance, I finished. Even though I told my dad what he wanted to hear just so I could get to bed, I couldn't deny that there was a part of me that really decided to give our new surroundings a chance. When supper was over, I helped my mom with the dishes, and once I finished drying and putting away the plates that held the spaghetti, which tore apart my mother's friendship, I headed to my room. Before I could settle in for bed, my mom came into the room for one of her routine goodnight kisses. So, be square with me. How do you like this transition so far, son? She timidly asked, her eyes curious, yet begging me to say I liked the life-changing move. Honestly, Mom, this place is turning out better than I expected. No, it isn't Temecula, but I like it, I answered. That's good to hear, son. I can go to sleep as a happy mother now. But let's see, should I thank the Lord for this sudden change of acceptance in you? Or should I be thanking our cute ponytailed little ball player across the street? She finished, smirking. Come on, Ma, I replied in embarrassment. Okay, love you, good night. Abe and Melissa sitting in a tree, she sang jokingly as she walked out my bedroom door. Mothers, that's all I could think of. Mothers. As I sat on the edge of my bed, I thought of all the things that had transpired that day. I couldn't help but be happy with the outcome, especially with my mom and dad excited about their new jobs. Not to mention my new school turned out to be pretty cool. Yep, I was pretty satisfied indeed. Another morning and another day at school had begun, and just as the day before, I spent a good amount of time with Melissa, Amber, Johnny, and Susie, but mostly with Melissa. It went like that for a couple of weeks, and my friendship with Melissa grew stronger. You might even say that she was now as close a friend as Just, Pink Tea, Billy, Left Arm, or Tomboy Sandy was. Another Monday at HMS had come and gone so fast that I barely realized it was time to leave when the last bell of the day rang throughout the entire building. With a day so enjoyable, it was kind of hard to see it end so quickly, yet we packed our backpacks and said our goodbyes. Melissa and I headed home the same as the day before, yet I made sure there wouldn't be any interruptions from my dad this time. Hey, give me your number and I'll call you later, Melissa said. What did she say? Was she for real? All these thoughts ran through my mind rapidly in total disbelief at what she'd just asked me. Before I answered yes, I looked at her as if I'd forgotten what my number was. Okay, yeah, sure. Call me tonight as soon as you get in. I mean, as soon as you get settled in. I mean, as soon as you... That is, whenever you want, I said, stuttering the whole time. I couldn't even get the doggone sentence out of my mouth because of the overwhelming cheer I felt inside. Before we reached our homes, Melissa and I must have told each other our whole life story. Hey, Melissa, this might sound sort of not cool, but I'm glad I moved here after all, I said, hoping she'd caught the hint I was throwing. Why wouldn't that be a cool thing to say? I'm glad you moved here too. This neighborhood was super boring before you showed up, she replied, holding her folders in front of her abdomen and almost timidly rocking back and forward from her heels to her toes. Weird. It's August, and it's still so hot. Is it like this all year or something? I asked, wiping small beads of sweat from my right eyebrow. Well, we get cold weather, and it really drops too, but it doesn't last as long as most places. And our heat here lasts longer than most places also, Melissa answered. Hey, listen, I promised my mom I'll help her with dinner. Call you tonight though, okay? Melissa said. Then she did something I don't think my little heart was prepared for, nor did I expect. She reached over and hugged me. Not the hug that you get from people who really don't want to hug you, so they barely put their arm around you and tap your back a couple of times. No, this one was a genuine embrace, the kind that made you feel warm. I hugged Melissa back, wishing we never had to let go. I could tell she was coming off her tippy toes, almost leaning all the way towards me, so I let her go before she lost her balance. See you later, and don't forget I'm going to call you, bye, she yelled as she ran towards her front door, ponytail bouncing off her head, tapping her back. Bye, I mumbled, still dazed from the hug. I walked into my house and shut and locked the front door behind me. My parents were in the backyard, soaking up the beautiful sunny day. Hey, Mom. What's up, Pop? I said as I joined them. How was school, dear? Mom asked, sitting in a dark green lawn chair and drinking an irresistible-looking glass of lemonade. Let me guess, it was Koo, Dad said as he laughed. He was farther out on the lawn, spraying weed killer along the edges of the grass. Come on, Dad. When you say it, it doesn't sound as Koo, I said, messing with him. After spending some time with my folks, I hurried to my room. I couldn't afford to miss Melissa's call. I didn't want to look like a fool waiting for her call like a sad puppy. So I fiddled around in my bedroom. I picked up my guitar and stroked a few strings. Then, before I knew it, nightfall had arrived, and Melissa still hadn't called. I started to get down. I guess my mother could tell something was bothering me at the dinner table. Is everything okay, son? My mom asked me as we finished a bowl of cookies and cream ice cream. Yeah, Mom. It's just that today I gave Melissa our number and she said she would call, but she never did. And now it's getting late, I said in a complaining manner. Is that what has you so down? Well, it's only 6:30, sweetie, my mom said as she rose from the table and collected her bowl and mine. I stood to help her with the dishes, which my father usually did, but tonight he was really busy going over some work documents in the living room. You're right, I guess I am being impatient, I replied. You should have seen what I did to your father. I promised I would call him and made him wait a whole week, Mom said, reminiscing about yesteryear. A whole week, Mom? That's too long. I'm not waiting on no girl that long, I said. My mother didn't reply. She just laughed as if my immaturity amused her. My mom and I conversed a little longer until we were pretty much done in the kitchen, and just before I could dry my hands after washing the dishes, the phone rang. Oh boy, it's Melissa, I thought, as I rushed into my bedroom and grabbed the phone off the top of my nightstand, almost knocking off a glass of orange juice I forgot to throw out from the night before. Hello? I said. The voice on the other end asked if they could speak with Abe. It was a soft voice, a gentle, kind voice. It was Melissa. Hey, Melissa, it's me, I replied, as I held the phone with one hand up to my face and rotated, drying my still wet hands on my pajama pants. Melissa and I were engaged in a deep conversation, as deep as two middle school teens could get, before my mother entered the room. You've been talking for over half an hour now. I want you in bed soon. And tell Melissa I said hello, she whispered as she kissed my forehead. I gave her a thumbs up to let her know I had heard her and would obey her wishes. Although my mind was fully intent on obeying my mother, time passed quickly, and before I knew it, it was 10 o'clock. Hey, Melissa, hold on one sec, Kay? I asked as I put the phone down and tiptoed to my parents' door. They were both fast asleep. So I turned and tiptoed back to my room and very gently closed my bedroom door, not making one peep cat burglar style. I picked up the phone once more to continue my conversation. Okay, I'm back. Hey, is your mom asleep? Because mine are knocked out, I asked. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about my mother. Hold for a minute while I check, okay? She said, mirroring what I'd recently done. She got back on the phone about 2 minutes later. Hello? She said in her sweet, soft voice. Yeah, I'm here, I responded. Yeah, my mother is out too, she said. I wondered to myself about the whereabouts of her father, yet I didn't feel the time was right to ask, so I didn't. It's getting late. We'd better get some sleep. What do you think? Melissa said. Yeah, you're right. See you at school tomorrow. Wait for me in the morning by the mailboxes so we can walk together, okay? I requested. Okay, sure. Good night, Abe. Sweet dreams. Good night, Melissa. Sweet dreams to you too. I waited in line to see if she would hang up first. Funny thing was, she did the same thing. Hang up, she said. No, you hang up first, I replied, laughing. Then she finally hung up her phone, and I did the same.